Hello there. I'm a doctor with many years of experience caring for older adults. And today I want to talk about an issue that almost everyone avoids. Until it hits us. Have you ever stood in front of the refrigerator, staring at those $60 protein powder containers, and asked yourself, am I being scammed? Or have you ever felt like you're playing a losing game from the start, where your body gets weaker every day, but every solution demands you fork over half your retirement income? If you're nodding your head, you're not alone. And if you're shaking your head because you think I'm being dramatic, let me share with you the harsh reality of aging in America in 2025. This is the story nobody wants to hear, but everyone needs to know. Starting from the moment you turn 50, your body begins firing muscle at a rate of 1 to 2% every year. Sounds like a little rake, but let's do some quick math. By age 80, you could have lost 30% of your strength. 30%. That's the difference between being able to open a pickle jar or having to ask your grandkid to do it for you. And here's the funny part. Right when your body needs protein the most to fight this process, protein prices skyrocket. The supplement store tells you that you need to spend $200 a month on premium protein powder. The grocery store sells beef tenderloin at diamond prices. And nutrition experts shake their heads sadly, saying, you can't save money when it comes to your health. But here's what I discovered after 3 years of research and tracking thousands of patients. There are 80-year-olds who are strong as oxen, and there are 65-year-olds who already need caregivers. And what's interesting? The strong ones often spend less money on protein than the weak ones. I know this sounds backwards, like I'm telling you that cheap pizza is better than expensive salad, but science doesn't lie, and I have the proof. Today, I'm going to share with you 7 protein foods that I call hidden treasures, foods that can build muscle more effectively than products that cost 20 times more. I'll start with the most familiar food, then gradually take you to the rough diamonds that you might never have thought of. And if you're thinking, probably just more empty advice, let me tell you about Margaret. Food number 1, EGGs. The trustworthy old friend, Margaret, 67 years old, sat in my office with that worried look I've seen in thousands of patients. Doctor, she said, my son keeps telling me I need to drink protein powder, but it's $60 a container. With my pension, I have to choose between medication or protein. I smiled and asked, Margaret, what did you have for breakfast today? 2 boiled eggs with whole grain bread? Excellent. You just ate 12 grams of complete protein for 40 cents. That protein powder container gives 25 grams for $3 per serving. Margaret's face lit up like a flashlight in the dark. Here's the truth about eggs that the supplement industry doesn't want you to know. Eggs have the highest biological value. Protein, quality index, of all natural foods. This means your body can use nearly 100% of the protein from eggs. Compare that to 70 to 80% for most protein powders. But here's the part I love most. Research from the University of Illinois showed that eating whole eggs after exercise creates a 40% higher muscle building response compared to just eating egg whites, despite having the same amount of protein. Why? Because the yolk contains nutrients like leucine, vitamin D, and choline, the keys that unlock the muscle building process. Robert, 72 years old, proved this point. He came to see me after his son gave him an $80 protein powder container. I tried drinking it for a month, he said, but my stomach couldn't handle it. Now I'm back to eggs. After 6 months of eating 3 eggs daily, Robert gained 3 pounds of muscle and could lift his grandchild without back pain. The cost, 18 cents per day, instead of $3 for protein powder. I understand the cholesterol concerns many people have, but modern research has largely eliminated the connection between eating eggs and heart disease in most people. In fact, the choline in egg yolks is actually good for the brain, something very important for maintaining the brain-muscle connection as we age. At $2.50 for a dozen eggs, you get 72 grams of complete protein, less than 4 cents per gram. You can boil them for snacks, make scrambled eggs with vegetables, or simply have fried eggs for breakfast. Versatile, familiar, and effective. But if eggs are the trustworthy old friend, then the next food is a surprisingly new friend. Food number 2, Greek yogurt, the dual protein magic. Elena, 69 years old, living alone after her husband passed away. She came to see me feeling weak and tired. I don't like cooking much, she admitted. I usually just eat sandwiches or simple salads. I suggested she try Greek yogurt. Protein powder is too expensive, I said. But Greek yogurt gives you 20 grams of protein per cup for 80 cents, and you don't need to cook anything. After 3 months, Elena not only felt stronger but could garden again, something she thought she'd have to give up forever. Greek yogurt has something magical that most other foods don't have. It contains both fast-digesting protein and slow-digesting protein. Whey delivers amino acids into the bloodstream immediately to start the muscle-building process. Casein is like the night shift worker, continuing to supply amino acids for hours, even while you sleep. This is exactly why research from Tufts University showed that older adults who ate Greek yogurt daily had significantly better muscle mass and mobility compared to those who didn't. But there's another benefit nobody talks about: probiotics. Good gut health means better nutrient absorption. New research shows that beneficial bacteria in the gut actually help reduce inflammation. one of the main causes of muscle loss in old age. David, 74 years old, used to complain to me about digestive issues. When I drink protein shakes, I get bloated. When I eat too much meat, it's hard to digest. I suggested he try plain Greek yogurt with some berries. After 2 months, not only did his digestive problems improve, but David also gained 2 pounds of muscle. I feel like my stomach is happier, he said with a smile. The key is choosing plain, full-fat Greek yogurt. The fat helps absorb fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin D and also helps you feel full longer. You can add fresh berries, nuts, or even use it as a sour cream substitute in dishes. At $5 for a 32 ounces container with 160 grams of protein, this is one of the most cost-effective protein sources. But if you want something even more convenient, let me introduce another superhero in the protein world. Food number 3, canned tuna. The silent superhero James, 71 years old, is a veteran living on a modest pension. He came to see me with this concern. Doctor, I know I need to eat fish, but fresh fish here costs $15 to $20 per pound. I don't have that kind of money. I opened my desk drawer and pulled out a can of tuna. James, this can cost $1 and has 22 grams of high-quality protein. Just like that $20 salmon, he looked at me like I had just told him he could turn water into wine. Canned tuna is one of the best-kept secrets in the nutrition world. Research from the University of Arkansas showed that older adults absorb protein from fish much more efficiently than many other proteins. Absorption rates over 90%, even in people over 70. What makes tuna special isn't just the amount of protein, but the quality of that protein. Tuna has all 9 essential amino acids and perfect ratios for muscle protein synthesis. And because it's naturally low in fat, it's ideal for those who want to build muscle without gaining weight. Helen, 65 years old, proved this point. She lived on a tight budget after her divorce, but was determined not to let old age defeat her. She started eating 1 can of tuna daily, sometimes mixed with salad, sometimes making tuna patties with eggs. After 4 months, she told me, I can move furniture without asking for help. And most importantly, I feel independent again. I understand the mercury concerns. The FDA recommends adults can safely eat up to 12 ounces of light canned tuna per week. That's about 6 cans. Enough to provide 132 grams of protein for $6? To maximize benefits, choose tuna in water instead of oil to control calories. Light tuna has less mercury than albacore and is also cheaper. You can eat it straight with crackers, mix it in salads, make tuna patties, or even mix it with scrambled eggs. At less than 5 cents per gram of protein, canned tuna beats most protein powders in cost effectiveness. But if you're looking for something that works, even while you sleep, the next food will surprise you. Food number 4, cottage cheese. The night shift worker for muscles, Dorothy, 68 years old, always had sleep problems. I wake up at 3 a.m. and can't fall back asleep, she said, and every morning I feel like I've been run over by a truck. I suggested she'd try eating a small bowl of cottage cheese before bed. The protein in this will feed your muscles all night, I explained. After 6 weeks, Dorothy not only slept better, but felt stronger in the mornings. I don't know why, but I feel like my body has been repaired overnight. Cottage cheese contains mainly casein protein, the slow-release protein I mentioned with Greek yogurt, but in much higher concentrations. Whey protein acts like the fire department, arriving quickly and handling the situation immediately. Casein is like the construction crew, working slowly but thoroughly for hours. Research from McMaster University showed that older adults who consumed casein protein before bed had significant increases in muscle mass and strength, even without exercise. The body performs most of its repair and rebuilding work while we sleep. Here's what's interesting. As we age, our muscles' ability to use protein decreases, a phenomenon called anabolic resistance. But providing continuous amino acids from casein helps overcome this obstacle. Robert, whom I mentioned earlier, was initially skeptical about cottage cheese. That stuff looks like spoiled cheese, he said. But after I explained the benefits and suggested he mix it with berries, he tried it. After a month of eating cottage cheese before bed, he reported, I sleep deeper and wake up without the joint stiffness I used to have. And most importantly, I can play with my grandkids without getting tired. A 16 ounces container of cottage cheese costs $2.50, about 100 grams of high-quality protein, less than 3 cents per gram of protein. That's equivalent to the price of 1 protein bar with only 20 grams of protein. The Journal of the American Geriatric Society published research showing that older adults who ate cottage cheese at least 4 times a week had measurable increases in muscle mass and grip strength compared to those who didn't. The key is choosing full fat instead of low fat. Fat helps protein absorption and creates a longer feeling of fullness. You can eat it plain, mix it with berries, use it instead of ricotta and lasagna, or make smoothies with fruit. But if you really want to maximize cost savings while still getting high-quality protein, let me introduce the king of the cheap protein world. Food number 5, dried beans. The crown of cheap protein. Thomas, 73 years old, came to see me worried about finances. Doctor, after paying for medication and bills, I only have $150 a month for food. I can't afford expensive protein. I handed him a bag of dried black beans. Thomas, this bag costs $1.20 and will give you 12 meals with 15 grams of protein each. Can any protein powder be that cheap? He looked at the bag of beans like he was looking at a newly discovered treasure. Dried beans are the rough diamonds. In the nutrition world, at $1.20 per pound, you get about 180 grams of protein. Less than 1 cent per gram of protein. No other food can compete with this price point. But beans aren't just cheap. They also contain a treasure trove of nutrition, plant protein, complex carbohydrates for sustained energy, fiber for gut health, and minerals like potassium, magnesium, and iron, all essential for muscle function. Jennifer, 66 years old, was initially skeptical. I thought beans were just food for vegetarians, she said. But after I explained the benefits and taught her how to cook beans with anti-inflammatory spices like turmeric, ginger, and garlic, she changed her mind. After 3 months of eating beans 4 times a week, she reported, I not only saved $200 per month on food, but I also feel stronger. And my doctor said my inflammation markers improved significantly. Here's what's wonderful about beans. They contain powerful anti-inflammatory compounds. Chronic low-level inflammation is one of the main causes of muscle loss in old age. The polyphenols in beans help create a favorable environment for muscle building. Groundbreaking research published in the Journal of Nutrition followed older adults for 5 years and showed that those who regularly ate beans had significantly better muscle mass and physical function compared to those who didn't. More importantly, people who ate beans at least 4 times a week had lower risks of hospitalization due to falls and fractures and maintained independence longer. Although beans aren't complete proteins when eaten alone, when combined with grains, nuts, or a small amount of animal protein during the day, they provide all essential amino acids. And here's the good news. You don't need to eat them at the same time. The body can match up amino acids from different meals throughout the day. Practically speaking, dried beans can be cooked in batches and frozen in portions. Slow cookers or pressure cookers make this process simple. You can prepare beans for the whole week with just a little effort. Black beans are rich in antioxidants. Kidney beans are rich in folate. Navy beans are high in fiber and potassium, while chickpeas have the most protein per cup. Rotating different types ensures you get nutritional variety and don't get bored. But if you think dried beans are cheap, wait until I tell you about another type of bean that can be cooked in just 30 minutes. Food number 6. Lentils, fast protein, for busy people. Maria, 67 years old, caring for her husband with Alzheimer's. I don't have time to soak beans overnight or cook for hours, she confided. But I know I need protein to have the strength to care for George. I introduced her to red lentils. Maria, these cook in just 15 minutes and give 18 grams of protein per cup. No soaking, no advanced planning needed. 2 months later, Maria looked much healthier. Lentils saved me, she said. I have energy to care for George and still take care of my own health. Lentils are the speed superhero in the plant protein world. Unlike dried beans that need soaking and long cooking, lentils can go from bag to plate in 30 minutes or less. But speed isn't lentils' only advantage. They contain a significant amount of leucine, the starter amino acid for muscle protein synthesis. This makes lentils one of the few plant proteins capable of efficiently triggering the muscle building process. What's especially important for older adults is the iron content in lentils. Mild iron deficiency, something many older adults experience without knowing it, can reduce muscle strength and endurance before it affects blood markers like hemoglobin. Lentils help address this nutritional issue that many people mistake for normal signs of aging. Charles, 70 years old, came to see me complaining of fatigue. I get enough sleep but still feel exhausted, he said. Tests showed he had iron levels at the low threshold. I suggested he add lentils to his diet 3 times a week. After 6 weeks, he reported, I feel like I have new batteries. I can garden all morning without needing to rest. The Journal of Nutrition published research showing that older adults who regularly ate legumes like lentils had better physical function and maintained muscle mass better than those who primarily ate animal protein. Researchers attributed this to the anti-inflammatory compounds in beans, creating a more favorable environment for muscle maintenance. At $1.50 per pound, providing about 8 servings of 18 grams of protein, lentils cost less than 20 cents per serving. They can be added to soups, salads, curries, or eaten as a side dish. Red lentils cook fastest and have a mild flavor, often breaking down to create a creamy texture. Ideal for older adults with chewing issues. Brown and green lentils hold their shape and have a meat-like texture, suitable for salads and grain bowls. The secret is cooking them with anti-inflammatory spices like ginger, garlic, and turmeric to maximize muscle-supporting benefits, while making them more delicious and easier to digest. But now, I want to talk about the final food. Something most people avoid, but which might be the most powerful secret weapon in the fight against muscle loss. Food number 7, canned sardines. The underrated secret weapon. Pachia, 68 years old, wrinkled her nose when I mentioned sardines. Doctor, I can't eat those things. The smell is awful. I understood her reaction. Sardines could never win the beauty contest of the food world, but I've seen too much evidence of their power to ignore them. Patricia, I said, give me 5 minutes to explain why these little fish are so powerful. After that, if you still don't want to try them, I won't mention them again. After that conversation, Patricia agreed to try sardines, mixed with avocado and lemon on toast. I could barely taste the fish, she admitted. 3 months later, Patricia's test results showed significant improvements in inflammation markers, and she reported that she could walk farther without getting tired. Canned sardines are the only food on this list that provides the triple threat for muscle health: high-quality, complete protein, anti-inflammatory omega-3 south, and calcium from edible soft bones. What makes sardines especially powerful isn't just the 23 grams of protein per can, but the combination of that protein with omega-3, EPA, and DHA. These fats act like firefighters for muscles, extinguishing the flames of chronic inflammation that can destroy muscle tissue faster than it can be rebuilt. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition published research following older adults for 3 years, showing that those who ate small fatty fish like twice a week lost significantly less muscle compared to those who rarely ate fish. Researchers observed that the anti-inflammatory properties of omega-3 south protected muscles from destruction due to inflammatory processes. Particularly interesting was that people who regularly ate sardines could maintain better grip strength and walking speed than those who didn't, showing that the benefits translated into real functional improvements. William, 75 years old, was initially skeptical. I've tried every expensive protein powder, he said. Now the doctor wants me to eat. I suggested he start by mixing sardines into a Caesar salad, where their salty flavor blends naturally, then try them with scrambled eggs, or mash them into a pito with a little cream cheese and herbs. After 4 months, William reported, I not only got used to the taste of sardines, but actually like them. And more importantly, I feel less joint pain and have more energy. At $1.25 per can, providing high-quality protein equivalent to a $6 piece of salmon, sardines offer the added benefit of edible soft bones that provide calcium for bone health. Strong bones are the foundation for strong muscles. You can't have one without the other. Another important factor is convenience. They can be stored long-term, don't need cooking, and are ready to eat straight from the can. Sardines allow you to buy in bulk when on sale and ensure you always have high-quality protein in your pantry. Unlike fresh fish that spoils easily and requires careful storage, start by mashing them into avocado toast with lemon juice and herbs for a more subtle flavor, or add them to pasta salad. They can also be mixed into scrambled eggs for a protein-rich breakfast. Eaten with crackers and hot sauce, or mixed into Caesar salad dressing. Consistency is key. Even 1 can per week provides significant nutrition, supporting muscle growth at a cost that's just a fraction of alternative protein sources. Here's the truth that connects it all. Building muscle at an advanced age doesn't require expensive diets or costly supplements. Some of the most effective foods for muscle building can be found in the cheapest sections of the supermarket. Every dollar you spend on these 7 foods is an investment in your future, strength, freedom, and happiness. Here's your action plan. This week, start with just 2 of these foods. Make a simple bean soup for dinner, have Greek yogurt with berries for breakfast, or pack a can of sardines for lunch. Calculate your current protein costs and compare them to these cost-saving options. You'll likely discover that you can increase your muscle-building results while reducing your protein expenses. The key is consistency, not perfection. Start with the foods you like most and gradually expand. Stock up on canned tuna and sardines in your pantry for convenient meals. Cook dried beans in batches on weekends, and rely on eggs and Greek yogurt for daily protein. Within a few weeks, you'll experience more energy, better recovery, and the kind of strength that helps maintain your independence. Building muscle at an advanced age doesn't have to be expensive. These 7 cheap protein-rich foods prove that the best nutrition is often the least costly. You just need to know where to look. Using foods that have nourished humans for decades, you can gain more muscle with less money than people who spend hundreds of dollars on expensive supplements and premium cuts of meat. You have a choice. You can believe the marketing story that expensive products are necessary for muscle growth, or you can take control with these tried and true affordable protein sources that deliver visible results. Your muscles don't care about high prices or flashy packaging. They respond to high quality, consistent, long-term nutrition that you can afford. But above all, remember that this isn't just about protein or muscles. This is about maintaining independence, about being able to play with your grandchildren, about being able to move furniture without asking for help, about feeling strong and confident in your own body. Every egg you eat, every spoonful of yogurt, every can of tuna, they're all small steps toward a future where old age doesn't mean weakness. And when you see the difference, when you feel stronger, healthier, more confident, you'll realize that true strength never comes from what's most expensive. It comes from the smart, consistent, and sustainable choices you make every day. Remember that you're never too late to start getting stronger. But don't forget to consult your doctor before making major changes to your diet, especially if you have existing health conditions or are taking medications. Strength is waiting for you, and it might be cheaper than you think.